Please welcome San Diego City Council President Sean Elo Rivera.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sean Elo Rivera, City Council President and proud representative of the 9th Council District. I'd like to welcome all of you here in person at the San Diego Civic Theater and everyone watching at home to the 2023 State of the City Address by our Mayor, the Honorable Todd Gloria. I'd like to acknowledge that on stage this evening we have ASL interpreters from Deaf Community Services for those in person here at the Civic Theater and closed captioning for people watching at home. Thank you for being here. I'd like to start by recognizing my esteemed colleagues on the San Diego City Council. From District 1, the Honorable Joe LaCava. From District 2, the Honorable Dr. Jennifer Campbell. From District 3, the Honorable Stephen Whitburn. From District 4 and our City Council President Pro Tem, the Honorable Monica Montgomery Stepp. From District 5, the Honorable Marnie Von Wilper. From District 6, the Honorable Kent Lee. From District 7, the Honorable Raul Campillo. From District 8, the Honorable Vivian Moreno. I would also like to acknowledge our City Attorney, Mari Elliott. The City's Chief Operating Officer, Eric Dargan. Independent Budget Analyst, Charles Modica. City Auditor, Andy Hanau. And Interim City Clerk, Diana Fuentes. We are truly honored to have so many distinguished guests with us this evening, which we would like to take a moment to acknowledge. However, we'd ask that you hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. From the County of San Diego, Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Nora Vargas. County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. Sheriff Kelly Martinez. Treasurer, Tax Collector, Freudian slip, Dan McAllister. Assessor Recorder County Clerk, Jordan Marks. From the City of Imperial Beach, Mayor Paloma Aguirre. From the City of Lemon Grove, Mayor Raquel Vasquez. From the City of Chula Vista, Councilmember Carolina Chavez. From the San Diego Unified School District, Board President Sabrina Bazo. Board Vice President Shana Hazan. Trustee Dr. Cody Pedersen. Trustee Dr. Sharon Whitehurst Payne. Student Board Members Leah Nepomuceno and Matthew Catoriano, and Superintendent Dr. Lamont Jackson. From the San Diego Community College District, Board Trustee Craig Milgram and Board Trustee Mary Graham. From the Sweetwater High School District, Board Trustee and former San Diego City Council member Marty Emerald and Superintendent Moises Aguirre. From the San Ysidro School District, Board Trustee Irene Lopez and Superintendent Gina Potter. From the Poway Unified School District, Board Trustee Dr. Dashana Patel. From the Sequan Band of the Kumeyaay Nation, Chairman Cody Martinez. From the Ipe Nation of Santa Isabel, Councilwoman Vanessa Chrisman. From the Rincon Band of Luiseno Indians, Vice Chairwoman Tishmal Turner. From the San Diego Consular Corps, U.S. Consul General Thomas Riot. Deputy Consul General of Mexico, Gilberto Luna Moises. Honorary Consul General of Estonia, Michael Chan, and representatives from the government of Portugal. We also have representatives from the offices of Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Senators Alex Padilla and Dianne Feinstein, U.S. Congress members Scott Peters, Sarah Jacobs, and Juan Vargas, California State Treasurer Fiona Ma, California State President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, California State Senators Steve Padilla and Catherine Blakespear, California State Assembly members Tasha Borner-Horvath, Brian Mainshine, Chris Ward, and David Alvarez. And Vice Chair of County Board of Supervisors Tara Lawson-Remer, San Diego County District Attorney Summer Steffen. From our neighbors in Mexico, representing the offices of Governor of Baja California, Marina del Pilar Avila Olmeda, Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Caballero Ramirez, and Mexicali Mayor Norma Bustamante Martinez. Thank you all for being present with us for tonight's address. Let's give our dignitaries, elected officials, and city staff a warm round of applause. To begin tonight's ceremony, we respectfully acknowledge that we are on unceded Native American land. Please welcome Dr. Stan Rodriguez from the California Native American Heritage Commission and the Ipe Nation of Santa Isabel.
Mayahanapao, Billy Pena Malkamich Pili, Nicatol, Enya, Kawak, Wig. Mayahanapao, Mayas, never as you told me away to woo. Sepokenya, Yepque Pai, Yemit, Sepokenya, Air Cham, Matao, Maat, Mayoma, Ipenya Mapisho, Yedipe Cham. Ipenya mit, ne voyage khan, yo pamekenap in Chahaya khan. Creator of all, your breath brings life into the universe. You are known by many names. All that we know and we do not know has come from you. We give thanks for another day of life as we come to this place from our four directions. We ask that you look upon Mayor Todd Gloria, bless him in his mind, in his heart, in his body, as he continues to move forward as a servant of the people, to take care of the people, help all of us in this way. So we ask that you bless him. Ochayi.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. If there's one thing about San Diego that we like to do, it's lead and make history. Last year, history was made as Bishop Robert McElroy was elevated to cardinal by Pope Francis, marking the first time San Diego has had a cardinal. Tonight, we are truly honored to be joined by Cardinal Robert McElroy to perform tonight's invocation. Cardinal.
Lord our God, you have graced our city with an abundance of blessings, the beauty of nature that surrounds us, the cultural diversity that enriches us, the economic vitality which gives us prosperity, the creativity and drive that energize us as a community, and the solidarity that makes us one. As we begin this new year, let us see in each of these blessings your call to continually renew our social compact by bringing to the center of our vision the poor and the marginalized, the homeless and the suffering, immigrants and refugees, victims of crime, and those who are outcasts in the world that we have created. For in doing so, we will lay the most powerful foundation for a genuine and profound realization of what greatness means for a city and of what true beauty means for a civic community. Lord, we pray for our mayor, for our city council, and for all our public officials who carry out the noble task of service and leadership in an often polarized world. Grant them wisdom, compassion, strength, and patience. Above all, give them courage, vision, and integrity. O God, our city is the intersection of the cultures of Latin America and the peoples of the Pacific. Make us truly a bridge to the world by ceaselessly building bridges of solidarity within our community in justice, peace, and compassion. Through you who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Cardinal. San Diego is home to the nation's largest concentration of military personnel and more than 240,000 veterans. At this time, if you are a veteran or active duty service member, please stand so we can thank you for your service. Now, I'd like to ask everyone in the theater to please rise for the entrance of the Naval Base San Diego Color Guard, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. Color Guard, please present the colors.
Halt. Left face. Color guard. Present colors.
Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening is this year's Mayor for a Day contest winner and fourth grade student at Vista Grande Elementary in Tierra Siena, Emma Smith.
Please put your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Emma. To perform our national anthem, please join me in welcoming Karan and Navi, twin TikTok sensations with over 2 million followers online, but most importantly, San Diegans from Rancho Peniquitos.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Thank you, Karan and Naveed. Color guard, please retire the colors.
Color guard, shoulder colors. Right face. Martine, march. Forward, march.
You may all be seated. Tonight, I have the honor of announcing the appointment of our city's new poet laureate, Dr. Jason Magabo Perez of Claremont. Dr. Perez will serve as an ambassador and advocate for poetry, spoken word, and other literary arts in the city. As his first act in the role, Dr. Magabo Perez is with us tonight to read his original poem titled, "We Draft Work Songs for This City."
We draft work songs for this city. Whenever we stretch grammars of worry past the Pacific, whenever another blackout gifts us much needed stillness, whenever the surrender of this quiet is typhoon enough, we draft work songs for this city. Mighty we of rough draft futures, mighty we in Rivermouth of rush hour traffic, we of protest chant and scrapyard syntax. We draft on the corner of Black Mountain and Mira Mesa, here on a sidewalk of torn shoelaces and lost grocery lists. We draft blueprints for survival. We survive on the smell of beef broth, the smell of basil, of turmeric, of cilantro, of carne asada, of freshly cooked rice, of steamed bok choy, of freshwater fish, of deep-fried rice paper. We work song at this bus stop for students. We work song at this bus stop for tech workers, this bus stop for lolas y abuelitas. We work song in tin drum glottal syllables of distant motherlands. We draft litanies at every streetlight altar. We draft verse on napkins and reused plastic grocery bags. Wherever there are elders playing chess and waxing geographic outside the donut shop, whenever much-needed stillness promises a new hour, whenever the Pacific knows to rupture the shoreline, whenever typhoon is fractal hum in chest, we draft work songs for this city. We, raw material literatures, we, distillation of after dreams, we, swap meet philosophers. We draft work songs on the corner of Genesee and Claremont Mesa. We draft of gutters scattered with pink boba straws and dried palm leaves. We draft for mothers and their children hustling bouquets of carnations from the bicycle lane. We draft for parolees in orange vests selling local tribunes from the center island. We draft on Murray Ridge where a family sells roses and chocolate from a white bucket. Whenever the small hour calls collect, whenever ruptures in the line set us free, whenever hum in chest arrives as ghost in throat, we draft work songs. We whose hands wash sky, we who grow gardens and gardens against worry, we whose mighty ache remakes history. We draft work songs here in the alley off University behind 49th. We draft of a perfectly reusable red plastic slide, of a car full of birthday balloons, of a small hill of middle grade paperbacks, a gold purse full of fresh broccoli and rubber gloves, a black tote bag stuffed with wet lettuce and white surgical masks. We draft at the backyard family parties and block-wide barbecues. We work song where it smells of fresh tires and flour tortillas, where dried lemon rinds stick to pavement, work song of clean chicken bone wrapped in foil, work song of rain-soaked box springs, work song for the infamous hot Cheetos burrito. Brush Fire Fabulous work song on the graveyard shift, survivor song, song of the parking lot nail salon, work song of the underfuture, heavenly fa outside between two buildings work song. We draft as patrol cars cram the alley. We draft as protest medics cram the alley. We draft as Muslim cabbies double park their Priuses outside the mosque, outside the taqueria. Work song of a child chasing mosquitoes with a hammer. Wherever a community of uncles gathers in the shared parking lot of the banh mi shop and Somali restaurant. Wherever we feel that lived intensity of interior traffic, here sings the lettuce picker, here sings the strawberry picker, here sings the bellhop, the postal worker, the custodian, the hotel maid, groundskeeper, landscaper, gardener, construction worker, nurse, teacher, waiter, dishwasher, bus driver, grocer, labor organizer, mechanic, therapist. Here sings the nanny, here sings the refugee, here sings the native, here sings the migrant. Oh, what work, oh, what song, oh, what city. When our utterance is archived, when there is historical reckoning, when we demand nothing short of the collective joy. And here we are on native land. We draft work songs for this city. We draft work songs for this city. We draft work songs for this city.
Thank you, Dr. Magabo Perez, and thank you to every San Diegan who participated in the program this evening and for all that you do to make our city a better place for all of us. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the 37th Mayor of the City of San Diego, Mayor Todd Gloria, to provide the State of the City address. Mayor Gloria.
Good evening. City Council President Elo Rivera and members of the City Council, City Attorney Elliott, Chief Operating Officer Dargan, distinguished guests from throughout California and the region, local tribal leaders, military leaders, and officials from Baja California and around the world, our dedicated city employees, my family, including my mom and dad, who are here in the front row. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. My fellow San Diegans, when I took the reins of our city in 2020, I declared that the state of our city was fragile. Fragile as we navigated the continued uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fragile in the face of a looming budget shortfall caused by the pandemic. And fragile as a result of a host of civic issues left unaddressed. Last year, after successful efforts to get San Diegans vaccinated, after securing federal aid from the Biden-Harris administration and Congress through the American Rescue Plan, and after finally checking off items that sat for years atop a long civic to-do list, issues like short-term vacation rentals, the Barrio Logan Community Plan, sidewalk vending, and more, I declared the state of our city was ready. Ready to recover, ready to rebuild, and ready to continue solving the tough problems we face together. Tonight, I'm honored to be with you to deliver my third State of the City address as San Diego's 37th mayor, and my first in person with a live audience. You all look incredible, by the way. That we're here together again is a testament to our progress, our triumph over the COVID-19 pandemic, driven by our determination to be together, to work together, to rebuild our city and embark on a new era of prosperity. When I became your mayor, I pledged that I was coming to City Hall to get things done. I promised to tackle the challenges that we face head on with a sustained effort in order to make real change. And I pledged to listen to communities that have long been neglected by City Hall and to take action on their behalf. That neglect has long been evident in the city's lack of investment in infrastructure and the impacts it has on our daily lives. A bent car axle caused by a pothole, a boiled water order because of a ruptured water main, concerns about walking in neighborhoods because of broken streetlights or buckled sidewalks, or a complete lack of sidewalks, as was the case for Danielle and Tommy Walker of Paradise Hills. Danielle and Tommy are the proud owners of several small businesses, including the Mental Bar, a coffee house in the Black Arts and Culture District. For years, the Walkers, like so many residents of our southeastern San Diego neighborhoods, wanted their community to be beautiful, free of weeds and graffiti, and revitalized with street repairs and new streetlights and sidewalks, not only in Paradise Hills where they live, but also in Encanto where they work. They watched with dismay as their neighborhood's full potential went unrealized. So, entrepreneurs that they are, the Walkers joined the Project Rio Collective, an informal neighborhood group, and Tommy began serving on the Paradise Hills Planning Committee and Park and Recreation Board, all with an eye toward improving their community. It's been a long time coming, but with the commitment and partnership of Council President Pro Tem Monica Montgomery Stepp, I'm pleased to report that we're getting it done. More than 1,200 feet of new sidewalks, fresh new streetlights fixed and new freshly paved streets all underway as we speak. The Walkers are here with us this evening, and I want to take this opportunity to thank them and their neighbors for their persistent advocacy on behalf of southeastern San Diego. Thank you to the Walkers. Now, let's be clear. Years-long advocacy for basic city infrastructure shouldn't be necessary. And that's why from day one of my administration, I have focused on bringing infrastructure upgrades, maintenance, and repairs equitably to every community. It's why my Ready to Rebuild budget last year was the largest investment in infrastructure in our city's history to help fix more streets and bring more sidewalks to neighborhoods like the Walkers. And it's true that the city has struggled for years to keep up with necessary sidewalk repairs. Some of you may know that under state law, many sidewalk repairs are the responsibility of the adjacent property owner. The red tape and the expense of the current process means that few residents actually make those repairs. It's high time that we take a different approach. This year, my administration will bring forward reforms to accelerate sidewalk improvements. Our new effort will streamline permitting, reduce fees to make it less daunting and costly for residents and businesses to fix broken sidewalks in front of their property. And we're not stopping there. We're going to go further by establishing a city-managed contract to efficiently program repairs and allow property owners to access this repair work at an even lower cost. It is time to get this done. Our sidewalks need fixing. Now, with me talking so much about sidewalks, I hope that you don't think that I've lost that love and feeling for road repair. You know Todd Gloria. I'm still with my fellow San Diegans in our continued quest to fix the damn roads, and we are getting it done. By the end of this fiscal year, we will have doubled the number of miles of freshly repaved streets compared with each of the last 2 years. Between repaving and resurfacing, we are repairing 283 miles of city streets this fiscal year, over 40% more than the prior fiscal year. And hear me very clearly tonight, next year, we will do even more. Now, while we dedicate more taxpayer dollars to road repair, we must also hold others accountable for fixing our streets when they dig them up. We've all seen it. The city comes in, paves the street, it looks so nice. You love it, I love it. And soon thereafter, a utility or construction company digs it up to access underground pipes or wires. For years, the city's regulations and enforcement around them have been lax, and the sad condition of our streets show it. It's crazy, and we're gonna change it. This past November, I announced that we are going to update the city's street preservation ordinance. This is the ordinance that sets the standards we hold both public and private utilities to when they dig up our roads, dictating how they should repair trenches and how fast they must do it. My proposed updates will require all who dig up our streets to leave them in as good or better condition than they found them. I'm working with industry to tighten the timelines on temporary patches, make full repairs happen more quickly, and require closer coordination to avoid multiple rounds of repairs. And it's a simple concept. If you break it, you gotta fix it. This update to the ordinance is anticipated to yield an additional 25 miles of newly paved streets in the coming fiscal year. And I want to thank council members Marnie Von Wilper, Monica Montgomery Stepp, Joe LaCover, and Dr. Jen Campbell for their support of these updates in committee, and I'm looking forward to the full City Council's consideration early this year. Now, some of you are probably sitting there thinking, what the heck took the city so long to do this? And I agree. Any of you that know me well can tell you that I am impatient by nature. Impatient for progress, and impatient to deliver results for the people of this city. For example, I love a good groundbreaking, but you know what I like even better? A ribbon cutting. We ain't got no time to waste, right? Let's go, right? You know, it was at a ribbon cutting for the Fairbrook Neighborhood Park that I met the Winter family. Stephen, Jennifer, and their sons, Carson and Jackson. The Winters moved into their home in Scripps Ranch in 2013. When they moved in, there was a large empty lot behind their home that was set to become a public park. They were told that it would happen within 3 years, and Stephen and Jennifer were happy that their kids would still be young enough to enjoy it. You already know. That land remained vacant for a decade. But this year, you guys, we finally got it done. And these days, Carson and Jackson are using the park regularly to play pickleball and basketball and hang out with their friends. The Winter family are here with us this evening, including their eldest son, Austin, who unfortunately had to go off to college before that park was completed. Austin, buddy, I'm sorry. You can enjoy it on the weekends and on the holidays. How about that? We're working to make sure that families like the Winters won't have to wait so long for neighborhood improvements. In fact, Fairbrook Neighborhood Park was one of 9 new parks that we opened in 2022, and we completed upgrades on 15 more. This was more park improvements than the city's completed in any of the past 6 years. And this year, we're on track to open 13 new parks and upgrade 18 more as a part of our Parks for All of Us master plan, which was adopted by the City Council last year. It's not just parks. Construction is underway on the new Torrey Pines Fire Station, and we've begun work on both the Skyline Hills and Fairmont fire stations. We also broke ground on the new Branch Library and Pacific Highlands Ranch, and secured funding for the new Oak Park branch, and give it up, Oak Park. Oh, I'm into that. And major improvements are coming soon to the branch libraries in Ocean Beach, City Heights, San Carlos, and Linda Vista. I'm so happy to see this progress all across our city, and I've empowered our city staff to find more ways to get things done faster. And I recognize that there will always be roadblocks of some kind, but our job is to find a way around them, or over them, or under them, or through them to deliver for San Diegans. What we won't do is push the big costs and hard choices out a few years to satisfy us today. We've seen what deferring maintenance and investment has done on assets like streets, sidewalks, and parks. What's harder to see, but no less real, is the grave impact it's had on our most important asset, our dedicated city employees. Chronic underinvestment in our city workforce is one of the main reasons that today we're experiencing delays in services, fixing streetlights, issuing permits, collecting trash on schedule. Record low unemployment is also a part of that challenge. But let's be honest, many of the city's hiring woes were self-inflicted. The pension underfunding scheme was short-sighted and wrong, but so too was the response. The lack of retirement security combined with relatively low pay made us uncompetitive in the labor market. And here's the thing, investing in our workforce is investing in our neighborhoods. It's ensuring that your city government is accessible, responsive, and in service to our communities. This past year, we reached agreements with each of our employee organizations, and we have worked to reverse the policies that made us less competitive by restoring pensions, bringing pay and benefits more in line with other municipal agencies, and rewarding special skills and training. I want to say very clearly tonight to all of you that San Diego is and will continue to be a pro-worker city. Full staffing is important across all of our city services, but it is absolutely critical for public safety. When anyone in our city calls 911, you should get a fast, effective response from a well-trained, well-equipped first responder. And our city is truly blessed to have some of the most dedicated and committed first responders serving the people of San Diego, many of whom are here this evening. Would you give it up for our police officers, our firefighters, our paramedics, our lifeguards? I thank every single one of you and all of our city employees. We thank you, we value you. You make our city work, and I'm grateful. Let me brag on them a little bit. Last year, our firefighters and our paramedics responded to over 180,000 emergencies. Our lifeguards performed over 8,000 water rescues as they guarded the safety of 21 million people at our beaches and bays. Members of our fire rescue team are in Northern California tonight, saving people and property in the storm. In the contracts approved this year, we provided our first responders with a 10% raise, showing that we value their life-saving work and are committed to making their compensation competitive with other regional agencies. And as a part of our effort to reach full staffing in the police department and address a chronic shortage of officers, an issue that the city has been dealing with for over a decade, we're also looking beyond compensation. Last year, thanks to the leadership of Senate Pro Tem Tony Atkins and the Police Officers Association, the city began construction on a child care facility for the children of police officers, the first of its kind in the nation. This will provide subsidized child care that aligns with the non-traditional schedules police officers often have to work in order to keep our city safe. We've also stepped up our recruiting efforts, and we have more women and people of color coming into our academies than ever before. There are people like Erica Perez, who joined the San Diego Police Department a little over 2 years ago. And she grew up in a low-income part of Phoenix, Arizona. And members of her family have, at various times, found themselves on the other side of law enforcement. Many of the people she knew growing up, she says, are either dead or in prison. Erica herself was headed down that same road. That is, until she found an Explorer program, which provides mentoring, structure, discipline, and a potential career path in law enforcement. She was hired by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department and served as the department's honor guard coordinator, traveling around the country with a contingent of deputies to honor fallen officers. In 2016, our own San Diego police officer, J.D. de Guzman, was tragically gunned down in the line of duty. And Officer Perez traveled here to San Diego with her honor guard to join us as we mourned Officer de Guzman and honored his sacrifice. Even amid that darkest of occasions for our city, she saw and felt the exceptional camaraderie of SDPD. It was something that she wanted to be a part of. Officer Perez and her wife and their 2 children moved to San Diego, and she now proudly patrols our Western Division. She says her goal each day is to humanize the badge and as she puts it, treat everyone, no matter their circumstance, with dignity and with respect. Officer Perez and her family are here with us tonight, and she embodies our efforts to recruit and retain dedicated public servants who will help the department build trust in the neighborhoods it serves and keep all of us safe. Thank you, Officer Perez. Thank you. In last year's State of the City address, I promised to fully fund all of our public safety departments. That's precisely what we did, and we will do it again this year. And tonight, I'm pleased to report that unlike most other big cities, San Diego saw our crime rates go down last year. Overall crime decreased by 7.5%. Property crime went down by 9.7%, and the most serious violent crimes were down 13%. Now, I've said it before, but let me say it again. Lawlessness will not rule the day in our city, and it is especially true today as we combat the rise of illicit fentanyl. This drug is destroying lives in our community, sparing no segment of our population, from the homeless to even our children. As mayor, I won't stand for the sale and distribution of this poison by callous and predatory dealers. That's why this November I signed an executive order to strengthen and prioritize enforcement around illicit fentanyl. And I've taken that message to Sacramento and to our nation's capital. This crisis must be tackled with the seriousness it deserves. We need stronger laws at the state and federal level that give teeth to law enforcement's efforts at the local level. Now, illicit fentanyl should be permanently classified as a Schedule I drug, and I will continue to lobby Washington to do just that. Consider that right now the federal government classifies marijuana as more dangerous than fentanyl or methamphetamine. It's crazy, it does not make any sense, and it has got to change. Our current laws don't fully, You can tell I'm feeling this, right? Our current laws don't fully take into account the game-changing reality of how potent and how deadly it is, nor its outsized impact on the most vulnerable residents in our city. It's one of the number of factors that have complicated our efforts to get folks off the streets and onto a path to end their homelessness. It was a big part of the struggle of two San Diegans, Natasha and Gabriel Martin, who are here with us tonight and have generously allowed me to share their story. Natasha had a career in sales, marketing, and design. Her life began to unravel due to drugs and alcohol and, as she puts it, some very bad choices. This led to a downward spiral of increasingly unstable housing situations, some jail time, and ultimately life on the streets. Along the way, she met Gabriel, who's also fought the demons of addiction. The two of them sometimes cobbled together the funds to stay in a motel, but most days they chose to use whatever money they had on drugs, and that meant staying out on the street. This past year, while serving time in jail, Gabriel got clean and sober, which inspired Natasha to do the same. Through the city's street outreach, Natasha found her way to a temporary residence at Path Connections, a city-funded shelter, which in turn led her and Gabriel to sober living. The two were married last September, and today they continue to reside in sober living in City Heights. Each day, Natasha and Gabriel lean on each other for support. With each day comes the decision to not use drugs. And each day they find a reason to stay clean and sober. So to Natasha and Gabriel, what you are doing is incredibly difficult, and it takes tremendous courage and real strength. But tonight, I want you to know that I speak for our entire city when I can say, we are rooting for you. You've got this. We've got your back. We believe in you. We are so proud of you. Natasha and Gabriel's story illustrate our challenges and our approach to solving the homelessness crisis. Each unsheltered person has a unique set of circumstances that cause their homelessness. Job loss, eviction, simply not making enough to afford a place to live. And of course, there's addiction, trauma, and mental illness. While mental illness strikes in every community, just imagine how much worse it is for people who struggle every day to meet their basic needs. Last year, during this address, I called for state action on mental health and conservatorship reform to help those who are genuinely incapable of caring for themselves. I was proud to work with Governor Gavin Newsom and the legislature to pass CareCourt, which will connect people struggling with untreated mental illness and substance abuse with a court-supervised plan to give them the help and support that they need. And thanks to the leadership of County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher, San Diego will be among the first in the state to implement CareCourt. This is big stuff. This is the biggest overhaul of mental health in the state of California in over half a century. It's a significant step in the right direction, but we can't stop there. Last year, I partnered with State Senator Susan Eggman on legislation that would reform California's outdated conservatorship laws. And we came close, so close, but fell just short. However, I'm undeterred. I will be teaming up with Senator Eggman once again to reintroduce legislation on conservatorship reform in California. And this year I do it as the chair of the bipartisan California Big City Mayors Coalition, which represents the state's 13 largest cities and collectively 11 million people. And we will make our voices heard because California has to do more on mental health, and we will push to get it done. With all that said, as we do that work, we still have to address the here and now. This includes the extreme health and safety issues posed by homeless encampments on our sidewalks. I know that the majority of San Diegans share this concern. It's not okay for children to have to walk in the middle of the street past encampments just to get to their school. And we cannot expect people whose homes and businesses are surrounded by encampments to just put up with their impacts. It's why I've instituted an order to take down tents during the daytime, to keep our sidewalks passable, and to discourage hoarding. We've tried hard to keep our streets clean, with our environmental services crew coming through and cleaning up debris and collecting unwanted items. I am so grateful for these hardworking city workers who have taken more than 2,800 tons of refuse off of our streets, making them both cleaner and safer. But clearly, we must do more, and we will. In 2021, we launched our Coordinated Street Outreach Program, an intensive effort where trained outreach workers fan out to encampments across our city to connect them with shelter and services right on the spot. Every interaction, no matter how minor, brings folks a step closer to accepting an offer of shelter. And we're making every effort to ensure that when people are ready to accept shelter, there's a bed available for them. We've added 658 beds to our city-funded shelter system, a 61% increase over just the last 2 years. We've diversified our shelter offerings to meet the different needs among specific populations of people experiencing homelessness. A 150-bed shelter for adults, a 40-bed shelter for women, 2 bridge shelters for senior citizens, 2 shelters for those struggling with substance abuse. We've recently secured another motel that will soon begin serving families experiencing homelessness. For those who have vehicles but no homes, we've expanded our safe parking program, and we will soon add a 4th location to this system. And as promised, we are turning the old Central Library in downtown into an emergency shelter. We have spent the last year getting this building released from a century-old deed restriction, and I'm persistent, and we got it done. Long term, we plan to evaluate this site for use as more affordable housing, so I encourage you to stay tuned. It's time, right? It's important to note that all of our city shelters are low barrier to encourage folks to actually use them. They can bring their pets, they can bring their belongings, they can come and go as they need to for work or medical appointments. That's why they're consistently 92% occupied. And it's from our shelter system and our safe parking lots that we connect people to housing. And I'm proud to report that in 2022, more than 2,200 people ended their homelessness through our city's outreach and shelter system. Some went to temporary destination like transitional housing or treatment facilities, but the vast majority, nearly 1,900 people, moved into permanent housing. Indeed, we have a system that does end people's homelessness. The numbers bear that out. Natasha and Gabriel Martin are living proof. The problem we face is that for every 10 people we get off the street and into housing, 13 people become homeless, many for the first time. The reality is there are San Diegans who are simply not able to keep up with the rising cost of living. And it is clear that we must focus more attention on the upstream causes of homelessness to give people a better shot at remaining housed through tough times. That's why this year, working in partnership with Council President Sean Ela Rivera, tenant advocates, and the rental housing industry, we are going to build out our recently announced tenant protection framework into a city ordinance that does more to protect renters than the city has ever done before. I've also worked with our Housing Commission to ensure that those who are most at risk of becoming homeless receive assistance. And I'm pleased to announce that the Commission will be doubling the funding of our homelessness prevention programs from $2 million to $4 million. This will help an additional 250 households and will be prioritizing seniors, persons with disabilities, and families with young children. But I want to tell you the truth. Housing ends homelessness. Housing ends homelessness. More housing supply brings down the cost of rent. More homes open the doors of home ownership to more San Diegans. And this is precisely why my administration is laser focused on making it easier to build more homes in our city. We all know where our failure to build more homes has gotten us. Sky-high rents, exploding homelessness, families moving out of the state, bright people leaving our city for lower-cost cities. It causes many of our residents to not see a future for themselves here. It breaks my heart. Aiden Lin is a prime example. Aiden is a 20-year-old student at UC San Diego. Aiden's a smart cookie. He's got a 3.9 GPA, you guys. And while he was in high school, he founded a nonprofit known as Our Time to Act United, which works to empower young people. He's already deeply involved in the civic life of this city, advocating for the Asian Pacific Islander community, involved in citizen redistricting, and enthusiastically pushing for more housing and transit options. After graduation, give it up for Aiden. Yeah. He is pretty cool. After graduation, Aiden would like to stay in San Diego, create a life for himself, build a career here. We would be lucky to have him. But with our high cost of housing, Aiden's not sure if he'll have that opportunity. Aiden is here with us this evening. And to him and to people like him, from young people to our seniors and everyone in between, I want you to know that there is and will be a place for you here. I am immensely proud that San Diego has recently been designated a pro-housing city by the state of California, one of just 7 cities to receive this designation, and by far the largest. And the really good part, it gives us the leg up when we were applying for state grant funding, so this is good for everybody, right? Get our fair share out of Sacramento. We earned this designation because we've demonstrated a clear resolve to build more homes. In 2022, the City Council passed the first housing action package as a part of My Homes for All of Us initiative. And we wasted no time in developing a second housing action package, which I'll be presenting to the City Council this spring. Together, these packages comprise 20 different reforms that will make it easier to build more affordable housing across San Diego. It includes measures to implement Senate Bill 10, a state law that enables cities to streamline projects near public transit that have up to 10 homes per parcel, to make sure that longtime residents aren't displaced as their neighborhoods grow and improve, creates incentives to build larger homes that are suitable for families, and to build more student housing for people like Aiden Lin. Oh, I'm not done. We are also investing directly in affordable housing projects through our Bridge to Home initiative, which provides gap financing to home builders in order to get shovels in the ground faster. Through 2 rounds of funding, the city helped get 10 affordable housing projects across the finish line. This will result in 908 new affordable homes in communities from San Ysidro to Rancho Bernardo. We'll be announcing a 3rd round of projects later this year. In addition to Bridge to Home, other city programs are also helping us to get cranes in the air throughout San Diego. For example, in 2015, we created just 10 new homes through our Affordable Housing Density Bonus program. In 2022, this program created more than 1,800 new homes, about 450 of them set aside for lower income residents. Overall, in 2022, we permitted 5,000 new homes, and we have another 7,000 currently in the pipeline. And we've done considerable work to update community plans across the city to make it cheaper and faster to build homes. Since I became mayor 2 years ago, we've updated these neighborhood blueprints to add more than 45,000 opportunities to build new homes in Mira Mesa, Barrio Logan, and Kearny Mesa. And in 2023, we will complete 3 more plan updates that will more than double capacity for new homes in University City, Hillcrest, and the college area. And that said, we still have so much more work to do, both to meet the housing mandates of the state and our moral obligation to the people and families of San Diego today. And so tonight, I'm taking executive action to do just that. Just before coming on stage, I signed an executive order directing all relevant city departments to complete their review and approve 100% affordable housing projects within 30 days. This is a crisis, and we're going to act like it. What typically takes up to 6 months, I'm ordering to be done in just 1. My executive order also directs City Development Services Department to expeditiously hire new positions, to review and issue housing permits, and to immediately implement contracts to address the permitting backlog. And there's even more opportunities on the way as we deploy city land to accommodate new housing. With the passage of Measure C in November, we were successful in reaffirming the will of the voters to raise the height allowance in the Midway District. This will facilitate the redevelopment of our 48-acre sports arena property. And this redevelopment will not only bring a new world-class arena, but what's now an ugly expanse of asphalt will be transformed into a vibrant neighborhood with roughly 4,000 new homes, half of them affordable to low-income residents. And by the way, all of this will be built under a project labor agreement, ensuring good-paying local jobs for San Diegans. And soon we will have a citywide project labor agreement thanks to council members Raul Campillo and Stephen Whitburn and building trades workers who helped lead Measure D to victory in November. And that brings us to where we are this evening, the Civic Theater, just steps away from San Diego City Hall. These 6 blocks in the heart of downtown present the opportunity to build potentially one of the largest new housing developments in San Diego. Last September, I assembled a committee of experts and community leaders to chart a course for a wholesale revitalization of this part of our urban core. We're in the early stages of this process, but our vision is clear. A new city hall that is praiseworthy, not cringeworthy. A civic center where San Diegans can come easily access their government and speak their minds at a council meeting or seek a permit for a home remodel. A city administration hub that provides suitable working conditions for city workers. And most importantly, thousands of new affordable homes for working class San Diegans located directly on a trolley line. This once-in-a-lifetime transformation will revive our downtown civic core, create a welcoming place of beauty and culture that will serve generations long into the future, and it is emblematic of that big city energy that we must embody as San Diego. Not just in this project, but in everything we do as America's 8th largest city. So tonight, you've heard me elevate the stories of several San Diegans who reflect the San Diego we are working to build. UC San Diego student Aiden Lin, Natasha and Gabriel Martin, Officer Erica Perez, Tommy and Danielle Walker, and the Winter family. Their stories speak to who we are and what we're striving to achieve. Delivering infrastructure improvements for our communities, protecting and serving our neighborhoods with the best and the brightest, ending homelessness one person at a time, building affordable housing for the residents of today and the generations of tomorrow. Their stories represent our hopes, our progress, and our future. My friends, they are San Diego. It is in their stories that we see how far we have come and simultaneously how far we still have to go. Tonight, I've detailed the challenges we face, the progress that we have made, and the work that still lies ahead. And so none of tonight comes with any suggestion of mission accomplished. In fact, far from. Our city has crawled out of the deepest of valleys, and we now find ourselves climbing the highest of mountains. The summit may be far in the distance, but San Diego is taking steps every day to reach it, and we will. We will, because what I know for sure is that this city, our city, has the resilience, the resolve, and the grit to scale that mountain. And it's because of this that tonight I can say that the state of our city is rising. rising to the challenge of addressing chronic homelessness, rising to build more housing, rising up against the urge to say no because it's scary, but rising instead to meet the expectations of our neighborhoods, rising to confront the climate crisis, and rising to reach every resident with opportunities to grow and to thrive, rising above doubters to deliver real solutions to the most intractable problems that we face, rising beyond what we have been to become what I know we can be, a truly great city that works for all of us. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless our city. San Diego is rising, and our best days still lie ahead.
We're moving in the right direction. People work in a box for a long time, and this is just the way it's always been. But now it seems like that box is being broken open. That's been the talk for a long time, and it sounds like the mayor is actually taking action on that.
From San Ysidro to Mira Mesa, Paradise Hills to the Bay.
I think that the city is taking great strides, making homes available for all.
Getting these projects done faster, I think, is the way to go, and I think under Mayor Gloria, I'm optimistic that things will start moving fast.
I do believe that because of these programs that are out there, that the city has to offer, I do believe that they can be a big help.
San Diego has probably one of the most diverse city council and administrations in the history of our city.
Trying to impact the people I serve in a positive light, so the kids I encounter, the teens I encounter, even the adults I encounter, I hope that I leave such an impact on that.
This is great to see. It's great to live in San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
Yo soy San Diego.
Ako ay San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I
am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am
San Diego.
I am San Diego.
I am San Diego.
Ako ay San
Yo
Diego.
soy San Diego.